Hello and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, really enjoying the World Cup at the moment. We just about got through versus DR Congo, setting up a really exciting tie against Mexico at the Azteca. I'm preparing myself for a long night. I might need a lot of caffeine. So yeah, a long day ahead, of course, that game being played in the early hours of Monday morning here in the UK, albeit there may be a few delays due to thunderstorms in Mexico City. We're here to discuss a couple of stories with you. I'll start with pre-season, and of course, as part of the pre-season schedule, Watford tend to play behind closed doors fixtures against numerous oppositions of varying qualities. We've had one of these games take place already, and as I exclusively revealed last night across our social media channels, Eliseo Dionisi has picked up his first friendly win, if you want to count it as one, a 2-1 victory over Woking. Luka Kiramgard and Mamadou Doumbia picking up the goals, and from my understanding, Matt Ward scored the only goal for the opposition. So that's our pre-season kicked off. I'm not entirely sure if the game was even played over 90 minutes. It's more for fitness and trying out different systems and formations at this stage, and I think we'll see that evolve over the weeks to come before we kick off in early August. The first public fixture is against Boreham Wood next weekend. I'm sure a few of you will be heading to that as well, and it's your first chance to really get a taste of what Eliseo Dionisi football could be like. So looking forward to seeing how this team develops over the weeks ahead. I just want some transfers through the doors now. I'm a bit concerned at the lack of movement we've seen so far. There's been plenty of rumours in the last few days. Apparently Omar Toure, according to Fabrizio Romano, the new right back, is set to sign any moment now. That's yet to be confirmed officially by the club. So I want some new faces through the door. I think once that happens, hopefully, the spirits of the fans, the happiness of the fans will hopefully be lifted somewhat, and we can start to look forward to this season with a bit more optimism. I totally get and understand the frustration from many, if not all of you, watching at home. I think the club have done a poor job in communicating with fans so far this summer and making us feel connected to the footballing institution once again. I think there's a lot of bad blood actually between both the fans and the club at the moment, especially the more senior figures, and a lot of hard work now has to go into rebuilding that relationship. They haven't helped themselves from a communications perspective either, I don't think anyway. We're yet to hear from Eliseo Dionisi at all in video clips, a long form sit down interview in English. That is a concern for me. And also the club published podcasts haven't filled me with great confidence either. The recent one was Juan-Luca Nani. It was about 25 minutes long, talking about his role now and the transfer strategy moving forward. Before that, we had our new sporting director Luke Dowling and Scott Duxbury speaking together, and they contradicted each other at times over our domestic signings and how many of them we would bring in this summer and the financial restrictions around English domestic players. So look, none of this has filled me with great confidence. I think in an ideal scenario, by this point of the season, we should have already heard from Eliseo Dionisi, whether that be a 2 or 3 minute interview or an extensive piece like we saw with Javi Gracia and Troy Deeney when he rejoined the club last season. But we'll move on from that now, and it's time to talk transfers and Nestory Irankunda. And yes, Nestory Irankunda, certainly the hot topic of discussion at the moment. He's been knocked out of the FIFA World Cup by Mo Salah and Egypt. They head through to the round of 16 to play Lionel Messi and Argentina. And I've got to say, this was a great tournament for Irankunda on a personal level. Yes, he only scored that one goal, but what a goal it was. And he's been noticed now by many clubs and pundits across the the world. And it's great to see one of our players getting so much recognition. I did feel at times, just personally, that Australia played a little bit too negative for my liking. It reminded me of Watford at times, sideways and backwards, everywhere we go. It did feel like Watford of seasons gone by. And Irankunda, for some reason, was played up front as a striker, a false nine for the majority of their matches. Whereas I feel his best football comes out wide, especially over on that left-hand side potentially. That's where he scored his wonderful goal against Turkey from. So a disappointing end to the tournament for Nestory, but as I said, on a personal level, he has really put himself in the spotlight on the world stage. And that is the discussion point we're going to end on today, because he has been subject to a bid from Premier League Hull City. There's been rumours about Nestory for the last few weeks from Italy, West Ham, Fiorentina, all these big clubs with high pedigrees interested in him. But the first official bid coming from newly promoted Hull City. The story was reported from Adam Jury at the Watford Observer. The fee, 8 million initially with 2 million in add-ons. That has been outright rejected by Watford. And within the footballing community, it's widely thought that our valuation of Nestory is upwards of £20 million. Now, this deal is quite a complex one to do. There's quite a lot behind the scenes that you have to take into consideration as well. I think firstly, we have to say for Watford to even sign Nestory was a bit of a stretch to begin with. Gianluca Nani has spoken already very recently about the long negotiations we had with Bayern Munich to bring him to the club and how our relationship with them helped us to secure that deal. But in bringing Nestory to the club on a permanent transfer, Watford had to make some compromises given our current finances and position in the wider footballing world. Really, there is a 50% sell-on clause, which means any fee we get for Nestory moving forward, 50% of that will now have to go to Bayern Munich. I believe Bayern have a buyback clause themselves in the region of around £10 million. That is the rumour, and also matching rights as well. So let's say Hull City come back in with another offer of 15 million. Bayern have the right to match that offer if they see fit. That's my understanding anyway. It's never been officially confirmed, so I could be waffling a load of nonsense, but that seems to be the general structure behind the deal we have with Bayern Munich. And look, I think I have become, unfortunately, resigned to the fact that he will leave the club this summer. He clearly has immense amounts of potential. I think he can go and be a real superstar moving forward. And deep in my heart, I did hope we could keep him and Othmane Mama moving forward. Unfortunately, now it does seem like we'll lose quite a few of our big players. Georgi Shakfatadze, that is advancing very quickly indeed. He has signed with Udinese until 2030, according to reports. Is agreed that contract in principle is completed. A medical, we're just awaiting confirmation on that deal. Whilst there's been no concrete interest in Imran Louza, we're expecting him to leave this summer. And now, of course, we've had this bid and interest from Premier League Hull City as well. So my concern is, it's all well and good Watford selling these assets and bringing money into the club. Number one, will Gino Pozzo reinvest? I think history suggests he probably won't reinvest a lot of that money. And number two, are we able to go and get a player of the same or better quality than those we are letting go? That is my overriding concern moving forward. So let me know your thoughts on everything we discussed today. Hull City's bid for Nestory Irankunda and pre-season kicking off, not in style, but with a victory over Woking anyway at London Colney. Thanks for watching as always. I really appreciate your time. Don't forget to follow us across all social platforms to keep updated with the latest Watford news, and make sure to hit subscribe down below if you haven't already. Really excited for England in Mexico City at the Azteca. So jealous of anyone who has gone out there for that game, and great to see so many Watford fans at the tournament as well. I've been reposting everyone with their Watford flags on our social pages this summer, and there's been absolutely loads, which is really nice to see. So if you are staying up for the game, get some sleep, have a nap, stock up on some sugary snacks, grab yourself a drink, and let's hope England can get through to the next stage of the FIFA World Cup. Up the Horns, come on England.